They moved mostly in the fall. Records show around 4,500 to 7,000 freedom seekers moved through Illinois during this period, and the period was from basically 1836 to 1861. Metamora was really in a unique place in the Underground Railroad. Three factors made it unique. And the first factor was its location. There were only 3 to 5 routes through Illinois, and one of them was the stagecoach route from Springfield to Chicago. Metamora sat right on the stagecoach route. The second thing was Metamora had a toxic blend of population. A significant portion of the immigrants were from New England. They were Congregationalists. They did not believe in slavery. They were anti-slavery. The other portion of the population was from Kentucky. Those people were pro-slavery there and believed strongly that slavery was okay. The attitude of the people against the abolitionists, it wasn't just slavery, it was against the abolitionists there, and they really had bitter feelings against the abolitionists for helping the freedom seekers. It was very, very dangerous. They threatened them with death. It wasn't words, it was actions there, and they meant it. It was really, truly neighbors versus neighbors. The third thing was the 1850 Fugitive Slave Act. And that was a federal law, and the abolitionists there, the conductors, felt that that law was targeted directly to them. Illinois had Illinois black laws in 1845, and they were strict. They were stricter than the other northern states because of the blend of Southerners in Illinois. The fine for that was $500 per slave. If the runaway was caught and returned south, he was eligible for 35 to 39 stripes. A stripe is the scar that was left from being whipped. The fine for helping a slave in Illinois under the Fugitive Slave Laws of 1850 was $1,000 per slave plus 6 months in jail. Most of the abolitionists were farmers, so you can see that if you were in jail for 6 months, or you were either not going to get your crops in or you weren't going to get your crops out. It's $1,000 per slave, so if a family of 5 came through there, you can imagine what that was. $1,000 in 1850 was a little over $40,000 today, so it was absolutely ruinous, and the financial risks were terrible. Besides the federal law, the abolitionist was eligible for civil penalties, which could also be another $1,000 there. In each county in Illinois, they had what they called a commissioner, and a commissioner was a judge who was paid to try these runaway slave cases there. If the commissioner found the runaway, the freedom seeker, being a slave there, they got $10 for finding him guilty. If they found him innocent, he only got $5. So it was really slanted against him. And the runaway was considered property, so the runaway could not testify in his own behalf. Sheriffs were held liable for enforcing the laws and could be fined if they didn't enforce the law. And the sheriff could empower just ordinary citizens to become a posse. So with all these Southern sympathizers around, it was easy to find. Besides the law itself there, the slave catchers were not part of the law, but they would come up, and often with their bloodhounds, looking for runaways to capture and return for their reward money. However, the value of a slave was about between $500 and $1,500, depending on the individual there. But if they captured him, and the reward wasn't very much, and the rewards were usually from $50 to $500 or on the high end, he would take that runaway that he had captured, instead of return him to his master, he would take him to St. Louis to the slave auction and sell him. It was a very profitable thing. The other thing was that private citizens could also, if they would capture a slave, they could collect the reward money. So there was a great profit opportunity, and neighbors were always watching neighbors for the chance to grab that reward money.